Summer solstice in the high Arctic. The sun hasn't slept for 2 months. Day, night, life is precious and intense. Resolute Bay is the starting point for those heading into the polar wilderness. There's never been a group quite like this.
Ok, tout le monde attachez vos ceintures. Et se mettre en même de décollage.
Each one of these teenagers has come through a ferocious battle. They've won the battle, but not the war. Sébastien Sicard came down with acute Hodgkin disease 2 years ago. Melissa Gross has fought lymphoma, another deadly cancer. Marie-Hélène Côté has a similar cancer. She's fought back twice. 6 months ago, she had a bone marrow transplant. But now they're on their way to a place where physical strength and endurance are required. Ellesmere National Park is 4,000 kilometers north of Ottawa, only 600 from the North Pole. Only 60 or 70 visitors a year make it this far. Only months ago, their lives hung in the balance. Now this. The man who has brought the group here lives in a world of extremes. He's their doctor, a pediatric oncologist at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto. That's frontline duty, and that's why he's brought these teens with cancer to the edge of the planet.
We talked about pushing the limit. Pushing the limit so we're going to cure more patients. Pushing the limit so we're going to reintegrate them into society. Pushing the limit so, as much as we can, to extract strength and give them confidence in the future.
Adventure to make his charges stronger. The doctor calls it adventure therapy. The plane will pick them up in 10 days. Until then, they're on their own, here on top of the world. They're 11 teenagers, 14 to 18, from across Canada. The adults in the group are doctors, nurses, and guides. Beginning tomorrow, they'll be hiking through a landscape so rugged that very few healthy teenagers would care to come here.
Right now we are here in a very, not hostile, but very remote area where anything that can happen, like a fracture, wrist or ankle injury, can become rapidly a nightmare for the patient or for the group. So we have to give them confidence. We have to follow them and see how their eyes will open, smile will get bigger.
First, they'll get to know each other.
They are coming here from a period where they have been overprotected by their parents, the medical system. Adventure is adventure. We are not in the Club Med. This is adventure, and we have to expect problems. Because if it was easy, what's the point?
What we'll do now we'll check out everybody if it's ready to go.
I'm Peter Steves. I'm from Moncton, New Brunswick. I had Hodgkin's, and I'm 14. I was diagnosed in '99 on April Fool's. There was a lump in my neck, so we went in, got it checked out the night it came. A month later, they called up on April Fool's, and they found out that it was Hodgkin's. So it was pretty weird. It's just how it worked out. Going through the chemo, the radiotherapy, all the blood tests, so many things we had to go through. Oh, my parents went through it pretty well. Well, I was always trying to support them. They were having a really hard time, but I don't know. We came through it together as a family, so. I have an older sister. She was pretty devastated at first, but once everybody was really scared at first, including myself, because just the word cancer really scares a lot of people, and it scares me too.
It's night, but too bright to sleep. There are new friends to check out. Little room for bad dreams. Time to get ready. The first day of hiking will be a test and a reminder.
My name is Chris Blackmore. I'm from Millerville, Alberta. I'm 16 and I had leukemia. I was really into triathlon, so I trained about 7 times a week, but things changed pretty quickly. I was just like, what? This is the kind of thing that doesn't happen to you. It happens to somebody else, not me. So, you always think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. I'm fine. You when you're a kid, you think you're invincible, but the truth is no. So I just couldn't believe it.
You can lean forward.
Le médecin est venu me voir, puis il dit bon, ça tournait comme un peu autour du pot. Il dit ça peut être des ganglions. Là, j'ai demandé, ça peut-tu être un cancer? Il me dit oui, c'est un cancer. J'ai fait OK, c'est beau, t'es cool. Tu me dis c'est quoi qu'il y en est. Je sais pas, des fois je me demande pourquoi j'ai réagi comme ça, peut-être. J'ai très bien réagi. C'est merveilleusement bien même.
Everyone here has looked down that black tunnel. Now they face the bright tundra.
I don't know what to expect. And yesterday when we flew through the mountains and everything, that was amazing because I've never seen anything like that. And it's huge, larger than life. We're going to do it.
It's so fantastic out here, so beautiful. Everyone here just is really great. They seem like they're a lot of fun. It's really good to know that other people have suffered what you've suffered and lived through it as well. It's going to be a great trip because we got a lot of crazy people.
We have to say, always be prepared for the worst and don't let it happen. So what we'll do, we'll prevent blister. So tomorrow and 2 days from now, we won't have
On a vraiment un lien c'est tangible, c'est quelque chose que tu vois. On est tous des jeunes, ça paraît plus qu'on a eu le cancer, mais on le sent. On le sent qu'il y a quelque chose qui est installé.
One of the things, it's very warm.
Yeah, we're going to do it, all of us together. We're going to do it. We can't give up. We have to do it. Just same as being sick, you can't give up. You have to do it.
This trek has been 2 years in the making. There's a team of volunteer nurses, doctors, and guides. They call themselves the Tip of the Toes Foundation. Once a year, they do a wilderness adventure. The head guide is Mario Bilodeau. He's been to Everest twice, but there's something else that brings him here.
I've been sick years back. I had cancer and I had an operation in 79, and I thought this solved the problem, but it came back again in 85, I think 86, and then I was pretty bad, so I needed a big surgery and radiation and that. But being a nature person, I know that I spent a lot of time in nature before the operation, because I know I needed to be mentally and physically healthy before to go for a big surgery. Nature awaken your sense, to open all your sense, to connect deeply within yourself.
See how my fingers are near the top of my thumbs like that?
Okay.
Like that.
Ah. Yeah! Yeah, not bad.
All you need is some tape.
The guides have laid out a route across a glacier and mountain passes. Supplies have been cached at the far point. But it's tough. Brand new boots on tender feet. These young bodies still feel the effects of radiation and chemotherapy. At the end of day one, they've done 4 kilometers.
La première journée est dure.
Dur, ah ouais? T'es fatigué, là, oui?
Oui.
Mal où? T'as mal
Aux pieds, mal aux jambes.
That makes a difference.
Ouais, Chinese. Ah.
The second night under the midnight sun. It's quiet around the tents. Next morning, the strain of the expedition shows.
Josiane is tired because she's realizing that her chemo affected her health more than she thought. She's out of shape. Peter Steves, he just has a cold and he's short of breath. He's a bit, he's not in shape, so he has to go slowly. Sébastien told us he was afraid to get depressed. He said that last night. And this morning he woke up, he said, I didn't sleep all night, and he's very fragile. The only thing he wants is to go to bed tonight.
The people are pushing the limits, but nature is pushing back. This river was supposed to be a trickle. The sun is hot, the glaciers are melting. The itinerary is toast. There's water everywhere.
The water is cold, but it's okay. But the main thing is not the coldness of the water. The main thing is the strength of the current. And also we can hear rock going down. And even if you say, okay, I'll be all right, I'm strong, I hang on a pole and people push me, and if a rock come down and hit my ankle, that's it, you know. So it's no way we can cross that river. Maybe going up higher today.
Most of the food is cached across the raging river. So is the climbing gear. What now? There might be a better crossing place upstream.
Yeah. We're gonna head up there and we're gonna try our best to go towards our original destination.
All right, got it.
Suddenly, the outcome is uncertain.
Got it?
Yep.
But this is not a regular vacation. This is like fighting cancer.
We have established objectives, and we should not change the objective until you know that it is not a reachable objective. This is exactly how when we start a treatment, we have a plan. If we think that the treatment doesn't work or it's too dangerous, we change our plan. But we don't change the plan until you find out it is impossible.
It's exciting. I mean, I love the wilderness and I love being up here, and it's neat how we have different ways, and if one way doesn't work, we have fallback plans, and I like it.
To get their bearings, they need to get out of the canyon. It's steeper than yesterday. A nasty surprise.
On est coéquipiers, Josiane.
Josiane Sorel almost didn't make the expedition.
Ben oui, parce que ça fait pas longtemps que j'ai fini mes traitements, puis ça a forcé pour que je vienne, mais je suis là. C'est dur, mais moi je suis vraiment venue ici pour prouver aux autres qu'on était capable de se surpasser malgré ça, puis
qu'on était quand même aussi fort malgré ça, puis qu'on allait être capable de continuer notre vie pareil.
They're now heading away from the river. The permafrost is soggy. 2 steps up, 1 down. Two guides are checking the river upstream. Bad news. There's no hope of crossing. Most important right now is to find a campsite, to take stock, consolidate. The steep slopes offer no comfort. 5 hours of climbing, legs and backs aching. Then finally, nature yields.
Oui.
Physiquement, c'est dur aussi.
C'est sûr.
Ouais.
Oui. Tu sais, je veux dire, je suis pas en très, très, très grande forme, là.
Ouais.
Tu sais, ça fait à peu près 8 mois là, que je suis assis ou couché. Fait que...
Exhausted, but surprised to have made it. Adventure therapy.
That's what we're trying to do, is to help them be in contact with strengths that they have that they don't necessarily feel at this point. And this trip is a way to tell them that they're stronger than they think.
Ok, on va regarder en plus, c'est correct, par exemple.
You should see the ball.
Where are you gonna move it? Where the left ball?
No!
Okay, now you can go.
Okay.
Pussy!
Whoa!
Day 2 has been a surprise test. The group faced it together. Barriers are coming down. It's easier to talk about things and to listen.
First of all, we have to listen to them. We have to listen to their frustration. They miss their home, they miss their bed, they miss their friends. We have to tell them it's okay to feel bugged by bugs. We all do, anyway. It's okay to miss home. I miss home, too, you know, so it's a matter of telling them it's okay to feel like that. It's normal. We all do. You're not alone. You're not a Martian to feel like that. And for me, it's part of the ritual that we're doing here, the ritual being deprivation so that you're in contact with a strength inside yourself.
Day 3. The guides are off looking for a new route. The teens get to just hang out.
She's like, well, what's she going to be like in 6 months? I'm like, okay. So she gets off the phone, and I said, Mom, do I have to lose my hair? And she's like, yeah. So that's how I found out, and like that was one of the hardest things. You know, you feel so bad, and like if you do go out, people just look at you, and like it adds up. And like when you wear a wig or something, it just makes you more sick because it's hot, it's itchy, it's uncomfortable. It's like the worst thing.
Well, I laughed at losing hair. So I started to come out one night and I took a razor and shaved a mohawk in my head and laughed around about that. They nicknamed me Q because it's like the head of a Q bald. So I laughed at that.
I lost my taste buds, which is, I hated that because I didn't eat the entire month, not just because I couldn't eat, because there was no point to eat for me. I couldn't taste it, so why would I eat? I'd bite into like a hot dog or something. I almost cried because I couldn't taste it.
Day 4. Mario, the guide, has found a better campsite. Revived, confident, the group leaves the steep slopes and heads into a remote valley. There's no other human being within hundreds of kilometers. Computer games and cell phones belong to another world. They have each other and the bright Arctic summer.
Good. I'm an excellent artist. As of yet, we have not seen an animal, only their droppings.
It's become possible to talk about the scary stuff.
I think the toughest thing to go through was like the 2 minutes of, actually I had to get bone marrow samples taken out and they couldn't put me to sleep. That was pretty painful. I think that was, like my dad was there with me. I told my dad to come in because I knew my mom would have a hard time handling it, like seeing me in pain, but so I told my dad to come in, and my dad came in and he said it looked like deer caught in headlights, just like couldn't do anything about it, the pain. Like couldn't do anything about the pain or anything, just there like ugh.
It's not natural, it's not in the order of things to have a child that is sick. And they say that the biggest stress for parents is to lose a child because it doesn't make sense, and it's against the order of things.
My dad, he stayed every single night in the hospital with me. Like, he didn't want to leave my side. He had a little mattress he slept beside the bed, so I sort of felt bad for keeping him from work, but he didn't mind at all. He wanted to be there.
Ben, c'est sûr, ça a été dur pour eux autres, comme ça a été dur pour mes sœurs, comme ça a été dur pour mes grands-parents, mes tantes, mes oncles, mes amis, ça a été dur pour tout le monde. Je pense que c'est moi qui filais le mieux dans toute cette histoire-là. C'est moi qui écoutais mon corps et qui me disait, bon, ça va bien, ça va pas bien. Eux autres, vas-tu, tu sais.
Each one is fighting the cancer with all they've got. The parents can only watch.
I think that's why teenagers protect their parents, because they don't want to be the cause of their parents' sufferance, and they are.
Yeah, at times. It almost felt like I was pulling my family through. It was kind of weird. They've said that they wish they had it instead of me. But I think, like, I was the youngest, the strongest, so probably better off me, you know?
Tu le vois plus?
No, I see him, but I don't see any others.
Yeah.
Non, mais il y en a deux. Mais je pense que c'est des roches. Yeah, there's 3 of them moving.
Just knowing that I can be outdoors and alone and really just brightens it all up, you know? If a person can find themselves out here, like they can find what they like out here in the nature, I think that can help them heal. I think that can motivate them so that they can heal, really.
3, 4, 5.
Il y a les crocodiles et les orang-outans, les reptiles et les jolis gens blancs. Il y avait des chats, des rats, des éléphants. Il ne manquait personne, pas même les 2 lions et la jolie licorne. Licorne! I know, I say licorne. Non, licorne.
Oui, ça va être Zach. You're the best liar, I think.
Dewey.
Ça a comme passé de 70% à présentement, là, mes chances, c'est de 25 à 40%. Considérable.
Ouais. Et puis tu as réagi comment cette journée-là?
Au début, j'ai mal réagi quand j'étais à l'hôpital, mais là, je me suis remontée, j'ai dit là, c'est Noël. Souris, Marie, la vie est belle. Puis j'ai essayé de faire abstraction de ça, puis...
Je prends une chance, menteuse. J'ai pris une chance.
Ok, je suis rendue au... Dame. Dame? Dame, oui.
Mario has decided on a new route. They'll cross to the next range, and then the big challenge. Climb Mount McGill, the jagged peak that dominates this landscape. The mountain looks down upon them, saying, "Try me." Then nature adds a twist. The wind picks up, the temperatures plunge. People shut down. It's like the bad effects of chemotherapy.
When you're going through chemo, you change as a person, and when you leave, like, your group of friends, they move on and they grow into the way that they're going to be. So when you're